This time on Film Ranker, we are looking at Rocky. It has been a whopping 43 years since Rocky Balboa first laced up the gloves, and like the Italian stallion himself, the series keeps coming back for more. With a total of 8 movies now under its belt, it seems as good a time as any to rank the series from the bums to the champs. Rocky 5. There are maybe a few Rocky films that don't measure up critically, but this is the only one that isn't really fun. It stars a non-actor and a guy doing an outdated Don King impression while also trying to be the most overly dramatic of the bunch. Thankfully, Stallone changed the ending at the last second, or this is the note we would have finished on. As it stands, the series actually works better if you skip this one. Rocky 4. This is the one that you watch with friends during sleepover parties as a kid. It is the dumbest, but also kind of the funnest. It has the highest montage per minute ratio of any movie in history, plus a blow-the-roof-off performance by James Brown, and a pretty rad bad guy. Rocky loses his friend, spends a lot of time in the snow, and then single-handedly ends the Cold War. It is ludicrous, and I love it, but it's not really a good film. Rocky 2. This feels a bit like what the original would have been if the studio had gotten more involved. That isn't to say it isn't good, it just doesn't feel all that original. The biggest positives are the growing Rocky-Apollo relationship and more Burgess Meredith. It is basically the flip side of the first Rocky, with the added twist that Rocky changes stances from Southpaw, which 13-year-old me thought was a huge deal. Rocky Balboa. This one does everything Rocky 5 was clumsily trying to do. Rocky dealing with Adrian's death, the father-son stuff, one last shot at glory, but it does it all way better. The real highlight of the movie is the relationship between Rocky and Little Marie. It's also a lot of fun to watch Stallone try and use every camera trick he's learned in the 30 years since Rocky to help cover up his age in that final match. Creed 2. With the change in directors from the first Creed comes a shift in tones from echoes of Rocky 1 to the more action-y feel of Rocky 3 and 4. It's not necessarily a bad thing though, as seeing Creed fight Drago Jr. is pretty fun. Plus it ties the new films more firmly into the canon of the old ones. As good as the relationship of Creed and Bianca is, the Drago father-son relationship kind of steals the show. Rocky 3. This is where the Rocky series goes from drama to cartoon, and it's pretty great. As an adult, I appreciate the slow pace and character building of the first films, but as a kid, when I was watching Rocky fighting Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, that was everything I wanted in a movie. It still has drama, though, with the saddest death in the entire series. Creed. Has there ever been a better passing of the torch in any movie franchise? Ryan Coogler manages to capture the heart of the original film while still making it fresh and contemporary. That it mirrors the original in all the right places and veers when it needs to. It's smart having Bianca play almost the polar opposite of Adrian, and the Adonis-Rocky relationship is the best, with Stallone doing some of the best work of his career and Michael B. Jordan just acting the lights out. Rocky. The Oscar winner has to be at number 1. It might be slow as molasses compared to the rest, and it's got minimal actual boxing, but what it does have is a simple, relatable underdog story featuring an actor who was at the time a legitimate underdog story. It is patient filmmaking that feels like a labor of love, and it's all those ingredients that add up to one of the most memorable final acts in movie history. And that wraps up another episode. If you want to watch more of these, click the thing to subscribe, or click the videos in the boxes, or click the playlist, or pretty much click anything and probably something will happen. Or if you're not a clicker, feel free to comment below with your own Rocky picks. Hopefully I'll see you all again next time.